Today we are reacting to and breaking down the Black Ops 7 Zombies gameplay trailer. There are secret messages, hidden locations, and potentially hints to the main quest all within this trailer. Believe me, there are so many things that you may have missed. Here we go, live first reaction. Oh, it looks so good. There's that teaser we got. That's what we heard in the intro. Look at those symbols. Look at how big this map is. Of course, the intro. Show us that gameplay. Come on. Oh, Ted. Yes! Oh, I can't play this. This is so sick. Whoa! The orange generators. Oh, this music's awesome. Pack a punch. Yep. Oorah, let's go. Dude, there's Diner. Toxic growth in the flesh. Look at that. Ascension. Launch.
Wasn't English breakfast?
Wisp tea, there it is. Ooh, that wonder weapon! Dude, that looks so good! Oh, wow.
That escalated quickly.
Oh my goodness.
Zombie survival in the beta.
Zombie survival in the beta? And the death animation for the bear. Are you freaking kidding me? We can play zombies in the beta? I'm not gonna lie, that might have been one of the best reveal trailers we've ever gotten. I'm a classic rock kind of guy, so that might be why, but that looked so good. Wasting no time, let's break this thing down frame by frame because I missed a lot of stuff. There's a lot of good stuff to be had here. So let's start here. This is obviously a close-up shot of the Wonder vehicle here. This is old Tessie. We've got some spikes on the front that kill zombies naturally. This is in its base state. If we advanced forward frame by frame, we could see this deep, dark forest that's really purple. I have the sneaking suspicion that this right here might just be an Easter egg to the Black Ops 3 menu. We've wanted that thing in zombies as a playable area for so long. This could be hinting towards that, especially with the atmosphere that Ashes of the Damned have. But this looks beautiful. Again, frame by frame, we've got these zombies here looking great. I can't make out where exactly they are. They are obviously the new zombie models here. We see the base version of the truck. It's going to progress as we progress through this trailer. We can see some zombies sprinting. I want to point out throughout all of this the eye color of the zombies because they are white right here, and I think I know exactly why. Moving forward, we get another shot of the truck taking out the zombies, and then we fade into black right here. We can see the trap that was described in the blog post. That is probably to activate the trap, and most definitely we will get a better picture of this trap, but there is a really interesting thing on top of it that is worth noting, as well as you can also see a jump pad right here that was also described in the blog post. And I love this. This is very transit-like because this map is very transit-inspired. It's a spiritual successor to Transit, so having lava in the background here, at least what I imagine is lava, could be pretty cool. Moving forward though, there's not too much to talk about. We got a zombie there, looks really gruesome. We've got some close-up of some zombies chained up in the farmhouse. This is from a different perspective of the downstairs here that we saw earlier, at least earlier in some teasers, and then we get some shots up here. You could see we have the brand new ammo crate redesign, which is looking beautiful. Overall, this is very atmospheric, very zombies. We have Dempsey and Takio walking by the zombie. There is a couple of these zombies. I call these set dressing zombies because they're naturally in the world, so it's great to have those back. And you can just barely see. This is where we're breaking it down frame by frame. Back here, we have a tier 3 armor wall by. Blink and you'll miss it. We move forward and we transition into this. Look at this shot. There's only 10 frames of this. That is a blink and you'll miss it moment, but you can see there's this like cloud effect here that sort of envelops this. Now, I don't know if that's just an effect because it goes black and white here, but this is going to be some sort of playable area in this map. But moving forward, we get a close-up of dinner and these dead zombies. And of course, the blood on the background is dinner is served. And if we progress forward, it's going right into the zombie's mouth, which I think is pretty funny. But now here we get a better look of inside of this farmhouse. Again, very few frames. These floating purple objects, probably a door by. We have a smiley face on this thing right here. Don't know what that could mean. It seems pretty important. Maybe that's an intel. Maybe that's some sort of collectible or just something weird over there. But also we obviously have stamina up too. And this is very reminiscent of the farmhouse area in transit. Moving on, the next frame we have the twins lie. Now this, everybody speculates, and I agree, this is probably talking about Ava Jansen, Dr. Jansen from Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, and the Echo. Since she frequently called her sister, this might be tying literally everything together. And then we get a close shot of this, and then we get back into the farmhouse area. You can see this is a better shot of this really strange looking doll on top of all these megaphones, and then the saw blade with this, a dead cow, or no, that's a horse. That might be a cow there too, but at least a horse. Pretty gruesome. We saw this earlier. There's a little switch for the trap. Moving forward, we have a wall by. Opening up the door to the farmhouse, this is that pyramid. Actually, no, this is not the pyramid. This is one of those cabins with its top kind of blown apart. If we go in here, we see like one singular frame of the basement area. So that's really crazy. We get another just singular frame of this zombie or two. And you can see throughout these frames, there might be the arsenal station down here. Moving forward, we have the spawn room of the entire map. This is just outside the spawn room of Reckoning. We can see a launch pad down here in the corner. Obviously, the Janus Towers logo, or Project Janus logo, I should say. And then once again, we get a beautiful shot. We can see Death Perception on top of here. We have what I believe to be the return of some sort of lava zombies. I know they didn't talk about it in the blog post, but this zombie to me looks orange, looks like she's glowing, as well as these other zombies in the background here. Now that could be Wisp T, as we'll see later on in this gameplay, but I don't know, I thought it was worth pointing out, and again, we have the wall by back there. But then the money shot, take a look at this. A huge pulled away view of this map. It's really hard to tell where we're gonna be able to go, but from what I know from the creator call, they showed us a map of this map, and it's basically a big loop, a big figure 8. And so this right here, this road is clearly part of that figure 8. I just don't know if this is the first little loop and we're going to the main area and then it continues on. I think that's my guess, but you can just see how massive this place is. Zooming in, I don't think this is going to be playable space, but it very well could be. Same sort of mindset over here. This left side seems to be blocked off by like hay bales and like traditional video game, hey, you're not supposed to go here sort of material. It is wide open, but this is a transit style map, so that could really mean anything. There's this doorway here, which we see some gameplay of, you know, the Wonder Vehicle blasting through that thing. Here's that lava I was talking about a little bit ago. That's got to be some sort of landing pad, or it could be something else. We'll get to it. Lots of stuff to cover. Clearly, we have some symbols on these things, probably having to do with the launch pads and the Easter egg. We also have something very strange right here. Again, later in the gameplay, we'll cover that. You can see those purple barriers there. That's kind of what we saw earlier, where it's probably just a door, the pyramid in the background. And then on the left here, it looks like that is the boat or crashed ship that we're going to go to, perhaps the Terminus boat. And I want to point out something that's a little bit weird. As we go back and forth with this, I want you to look at this sort of dark ether electricity, specifically like these things right here, this one right here, as well as these electrical kind of Tesla storm looking things. Because the soft lightning in the sky moves around, but the harsher lightning right here, the Tesla storm lightning, doesn't move even though we go back and forth, which I find very strange. That could be just like a theater mode, however they captured footage, or it could be just how the dark ether is with this specific thing. Everything's important. Welcome to a Zombies Breakdown. You guys know what it is. We get a little bit of the intro, and our first bit of gameplay is through the eyes of the Ted head, which is buried in this Project Janus logo in the ground. Now, I've looked at this for quite some time, and I don't recognize this area. Obviously, it's not in the Reckoning. It's probably in one of the buildings that we see later in the spawn room, but clearly we need to pick it up to start the Wonder Vehicle. You can see there's a building back here, which I think it's in just outside of Janus Towers, which this is the spawn room. In fact, I think that's the exact room right there where we got the head out of. And as we scrub forward, we're going to be able to see that Project Janus logo. And just look at the skybox. Look at this skybox. The clouds in this ring with this star or whatever this is in the sky looks fantastic. And then we get the radio. Old Tessie, close-up of the Pack-a-Punch machine, just like there. Mr. Peaks on the gear shift, the Abomination skins, the Wonder Waff turret on top, Ted in front, and this is somewhere different. We are now, I believe, in the center of the map. We have a Gobblegum machine here. There is some sort of writing on the wall there. I don't know exactly what that is, but we move forward, and I want you to pay attention to these stations here. This looks like a teleporter to me. I mean, it looks like an OG teleporter from Kino der Toten, from Alpha Omega. I don't know what else it could be, but I want you to keep that in mind. Now, there's a lot of stuff to break down here. This is a better look at what we were just looking at. You could see the little telepad thing right there. I don't think it's a teleporter. I think it has something to do with upgrading your vehicle. Now, this says blacksmith, but I don't know what that says. I'm really bad bad with text. I'm so sorry. Moving around, you could see another Gobblegum location. We have a zip line connecting these two areas. On this side, I don't know if this is anything. It could just be rocks right there. Could be a mystery box location. We'll see one of those in the future. We have a wall by there, an armor wall by there. We have an Origins generator or some type of generator right there. That's probably how we're going to turn on local power, because the blog post did mention local power in this, which is really cool. And then the last thing I think I saw was another ammo crate down there. Driving forward, you can kind of see a better motion. I don't know, like I said, that might be a mystery box location. It might not be. Everything looks like something to me right now, so I apologize, but here's that generator. Look at the zombies, what they're wearing. The zombie models throughout all of this are fantastic, and I do want to slow this down because take a look at how beautiful this C4 explosion is. The way that the sparks like twist in the air, that's great. Of course, Omni movement is back. We've got Weaver and Takio diving backwards onto the truck taking out a ton of zombies. And you'll notice that these zombies have yellow eyes, but then we dive down, drive the truck, and then boom, these zombies have white eyes. Now, my theory is that when you are like out of bounds, or if you're in the truck for so long, either in between the main POIs, or if you're just driving the truck, then I bet you more zombies will start super sprinting at you. And I bet you these zombies are similar to the purple-eyed zombies that we have, where they don't count as the round, but they are there to put pressure on you. Speaking of pressure, we have the Ravagers. Looking haunting. They say they come in packs, which I think is fantastic. You can see in this shot, we have a jump pad right here. We're back in spawn for a brief little moment to showcase all of these things. We have the turret. We've got Ted. We've got Dempsey, Takio, these guys on top, where we've got the Genesis logo back there. Shooting off the Prowler. We're in a different location. We're in that middle area. Actually, no, we're still in the spawn room. That's the end of the spawn room, and then they fall off. Notably, though, I want to say that they seem to be shot off in this shot without anybody manning the turret, and that happens a couple times, so it might be automated for us solo players. This shot is great. It's very red. There's some lava type stuff here. I know what that might be. It could either be lava or something else, so we will definitely see. We've got a great shot of Dempsey flooring it to get these guys off, jumping off this cliff. Reclaim your souls. This is huge. So that means in the intro, when the sheriff came in and did this thing to our crew, perhaps that meant that he was stealing our souls. And now we have to get them back. Really cool. So we jumped off the cliff. You can see a cabin back here. That's another POI. Again, all of these enemies have white eyes as we're in between these main POIs. Something of note, that's probably just a dark ether thing, but anything bright, I'm going to point out here. And now this shot, oh, blink and you'll miss it. We've got Takio and Nikolai. But do you see someone else? Do you see someone else in here? I mean, I know we have Dempsey and Ted, but the Z-Rex is back right there. How cool is that? Everything is in the dark ether, the trash bin of the universe, and the Z-Rex skeletal remains is there. Really cool. Now this shot, I love these overview shots. These are so good. First of all, we have a power switch arrow. We have exit 115 like we saw in the blog post. Just more evidence that 115 is coming back and we are resetting the universe. That's my main theory for Black Ops 7. Here on the exit sign, we have Reba's Diner, and for gas we have something Douglas's gas. Oh, I wish I could read it. Like I said, I'm really bad with signs and words. Obviously we have the diner. It looks to be a lot more expanded. Looks like you might be able to get on top of the roof. I want you to remember this clock right here with this food other diner type of restaurant. That to me looks like an ammo crate again. I know we'll be able to play over here. I bet we've got a gas station, lots of power arrows, lots and lots of power arrows over here. I thought this might be Nocturne Toten at first, but it's just a crumbled building. Not every church is buried. Not every crumbled building is Nocturne Toten. But I do want to point out, as we progress through these frames, I want you to watch these trees or wherever this is, because there's another thing right there. I don't know what it is. I can't, there's no enhanced version, so you just get the zoom. I don't know. I don't know what that might be. It might be Ollie's comics. I don't know, Ollie's something. I don't know. That doesn't look like Ollie to me anymore, but there's definitely something over there. We get another glimpse of it somewhere else, but we don't know exactly what it is. As we pull up to the diner, we have Elemental Pop. Where else would it be than this amazing diner with all the neon stuff? I think that's so fitting. We've got an ammo crate right there. Beautiful. We have another beautiful explosion, all those sparks. Moving into the diner, we have yet another trap. And as we go in, I can't wait to get into the gameplay and see all these Easter eggs, but we have the Yummy Freeze poster right there. Moving forward, we have Richtofen, another mop bucket. Is that a first aid kit from Warzone? Let's go. We've got Toxic Growth coming back. That's a door that we can push out this side. We've got a wall buy, the trap activation there, lots of clocks. Don't know if any of those are Easter egg times. It doesn't seem like it to me. Let me zoom in on these guys. They're kind of blurry, but 650, 250, 350. Yeah, I don't know. I love this. This zombie right here has got a watch your back little sticker on her back as she's getting killed. But again, love these zombie models. They're like workers in this diner slash the yummy freeze. And now we go into a really fast sequence of events and little flashes. We have the Origins mystery box with Mr. Peaks inside. That is so good. I wonder if our weapons are going to be backwards here. I don't know, but it's so fast now. Here is another frame by frame breakdown that I didn't even see the first time I saw it. But look at this square thing. Now, I think this could be a couple things. One, this could be a relic. So they might be teasing the cursed game mode here, or this is going to be sort of the main quest. We get some shots of the zombie. But this right here, we've got this again, the Origins ancient stone circular carvings inside of this, outside on the box here, covered in guts and this organic material. What could this be? I don't know. Is it a relic? Is it a main quest item? I'm going to say it's a main quest item, but it would not surprise me that this is a relic, even though they said relics are things of our past, which is leading me to believe it's more of a main quest thing, but cool to point out either way. I will also say it looks as though this is inside of a window barrier. Either we are inside a window barrier and we're looking into the map, or we're in the map looking inside of a window barrier, which means we might need to throw a Casimir in order to collect this item or do something with it, interact with it. Here we see a beautiful shot of the new launch pads. Want to point out this is a 935 logo, so this is a 935 creation. And as we approach it, we can choose different locations if they're available. Here we're going to the Cosmodrome, and interesting, this has a clock inside of it too. I just noticed that. But once we activate it, we will be launched into the air. So this is that diner area we were just at, and as we get launched into the air, we have a mystery box location on the roof, as well as an arsenal station just outside the back. And this is the other part of the sign where I didn't know what it was. Really cool to see all of this coming together, but this is a brilliant shot of this road that we can take. But I'm also curious because this road seems very, very broken. So are we going to be able to jump from these little kind of broken islands with Old Tessie, or are we going to have to, actually no, now that I'm looking at it, that looks like where in the trailer they jumped off of this into another road in between these islands, in between the little cracks, which is pretty cool. We can see a downed plane, which we heard from an audio log when this was first being teased. As we're zooming in, we have another power switch or power arrow, and then there's a weird transition, probably just trying to blend these two shots. We have a landing pad or a launch pad over there. We're coming in, and you should be able to tell this is the Black Ops 1 multiplayer map called Launch. But that map is also what inspired the Black Ops 1 Zombies map, Ascension. Now, what's also crazy is that this location is where Weaver lost his eye. So you might think it's kind of random, but this location is important to the Black Ops 1 campaign for Weaver. It's important for zombies. It's a Russian facility, and it was in multiplayer. So it's kind of crazy how important this location is in really all branches of zombies. On the left, you can see it through the satellite. There is the new perk just right there. You see it? You see the new perk? Pretty cool. We can see fireworks going off. We could see a launch pad, kind of landing pad, I guess, right there. Probably gonna need to activate those just like DE. We have a wall gun, a gobble gun machine down here too. And this is just kind of a lot of good shots with all the fireworks going off. Beautiful look at Wisp T. Cool little animation of this thing spiraling in the center. And then we get a few frames of these two shadowy figures, which if you remember, these look like twins. And as we saw, the twins lie. But then after this, we get a shot of these computers. This shot kind of looks like that's like these are two eyes, like that's a pupil, and it's like eyelids are halfway closed and it's kind of looking off to the left or the right here. It's left. Maybe there'll be another sort of AI companion, sort of like Rushmore. And then the screen turns to this screen, which I can't make out anything about this. I apologize. And we also have this shot in all of these shots. They say, it must be awakened. So what must be awakened? And after all of that, we're back in the spawn room. Lots of good stuff here, starting with a landing pad location, a rampage inducer, a launch pad location, the Project Janus logo that we've been seeing. On the left side, we just get a little snippet of that mystery box location. Again, Origins inspired. And this is where we're going to learn how the Wonder Weapon works. You can see it shooting darts through the air. I do want to point out this right here. I think that might be a piece of intel, like an audio log or something. I don't know It just looks like it stands out, looks like it's something we might be able to collect. We have Dempsey jumping through the air. A close-up of how this works. It's like half mechanical, half biomechanical, and it's got some writing on it. We are 100% going to need to figure out what that says because I think it might just be a substitution language here where it actually corresponds to English letters. But as we saw, we shoot the darts out. They kill the zombies, of course, but then what we can do in this beautiful animation, look at that beautiful animation, we can recall these darts and it will kill all of the zombies in its path. How clever of a design is that? And look at how beautiful it looks. You can see his hand right there actually holding on to something, again, mechanical, almost like a mutated or modified mangler cannon type of thing. Really cool. And here we have the boat. And again, I just want to point out this electricity. It's not moving. As we progress through, it's not moving. It's at a standstill. Very strange. This boat appears to be the same one as Terminus. We get a better shot of it later, not in this trailer. Here we just have the truck moving through, killing the zombies. You can see the abomination heads actually can kill zombies too. This is our close-up look at the disciple injection. Yes, that is what disciples actually look like without their mask. Even in Black Ops 6, we discovered that recently on the channel. In this shot, you could see not only a wall buy, but you could see the crafting table. Some good shots here, just some nice zombies. Again, another crafting table right there. We get in a little explosion, and these things, I don't know what they are. That might just be, actually, you know what? I think I know what those are. Those are the generators, aren't they? That's what the generators look like by default. Oh, that's 100% what they are. That's 100% what it is. Take a look at that. Oh, it's exact. That's exactly what it is. Oh, good job, Donuts. We've got another wall by there too. Moving forward, there's not too much here. You can see a launch pad in the background there. That's what that green thing is. Lots of zombies. We get some fun dialogue and a beautiful look at the Zurza, the zombie bear. And then we get the death animation after this too. We get this zombie bear pushing a zombie away like, nope, I'm going to take this one, and then killing us. Really cool. But now we're going to break down frame by frame this developer behind the scenes, behind the gameplay type of thing. And at least for this video, we're just going to focus on the gameplay because right away, the first shot, we've got a wall by here that we saw before, but we also have a traditional power switch. Now, I didn't play that much farm on Black Ops 2, but correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't there a power switch in the farmhouse on that survival map? Because that survival map had perks on it, right? Is that where it was? I could be going crazy. Fake zombie fan, I apologize. Really cool catch there. I love that. We got another great shot of those zombies. I love this shot of Janus Towers. It's all broken. The atmosphere is all different, and you really get to see, I haven't pointed it out because I wasn't quite sure until I just saw this. There is like this weird formation in the sky here. Like you see these like tendrils of the dark ether just like pulling at this tower right there. I don't know what that is, but that looks pretty interesting. This skybox looking pretty good to me. In this shot, we've got lots of cool things. Gameplay of the Wonder Vehicle, again, shooting without anybody on it. Now we do see kind of the zombie HUD here. This isn't official gameplay. There's a lot of stuff on here that's not normally on here. We'll get another look at it, so we'll talk about it then. We've got the Black Ops 2 logos here, multiplayer campaign, and I think zombies. Desktop icons there, Black Ops 3 right there. We've got the Blizzard icon, and also on the desk, we've got a pencil holder, which is pretty cool. But at this point, that feels like an invasion of privacy, so I'm not going to be breaking down any more dev tables in this video. I lied. Check out this poster right here. That looks pretty cool. That's like the Cold War poster. And then we have Etherella. Check that out. That looks really cool. And we got a little Spyro cameo. Luckily, we get another shot of actual gameplay. Again, white-eyed zombies here. And we see a bunch of these spore type of things all around the map. We're going to see them a lot. We've got a great shot of zombies super sprinting. Again, all white eyes here. And right here, we get a tiny little bit. I'm starting to think that there's an area of this map that's bright red and like lava filled, because that right there, that could either be one of these spore type things exploding and leaving behind like a trace of fire, or that's just a lava spot on the map or something like that. I don't know. But what I do want to point out, take a look at this. That to me looks like a jail cell. Right? That looks like a jail cell to me. And if we look right over here, hey, who do we have here? None other than, I think that's just Janus security, or it could be a prison guard. Again, we're in the dark ether. Surely Mob of the Dead could be a POI, or at least hinted at in this map, especially with the barbed wire around here, that and the lava. It just, Blood of the Dead, Mob of the Dead, you know, whatever. We get this shot again of the truck jumping over that. Old Tessie, of course. Here we see what I was saying before, Old Tessie running going into one of these doors. They don't actually show it, they show it later. Here's it jumping off. We see another one of those spore type plants. Going into Ashwood, we build the Pack-a-Punch on it through, again, one of these, I'm going to say upgrade stations and perhaps refueling stations. I don't know. There's another clock there, dude. There might be an Easter egg step with these clocks. Cool shot here. We get the Wonder Vehicle driving and a great look at all of these different spore type things. And I will say this spore and this spore look a little different than this spore, this plant. Could be something, could be nothing. I don't know. I'm going to point it out. Obviously, Pack-a-Punch camo looking good. Hopefully it comes in blue, green, or purple. That'd be great. Some nice B-roll shots, nothing we haven't seen before. This shot of Nikolai on the turret is great because we see these spores. That's glowing red. So these might be like proximity bombs. If we drive close to them, they explode. But also we're driving by the Z-Rex skull again in the opposite direction. And to me, it almost looks like we're going through its rib cage here. If we're not going through it, we're at least going by it, which looks pretty cool. Again, there's that shot, or this is the same area. Like I said, I bet you that's just Janus security. We've got this plant exploding. You can see it being right here. It's almost like a pufferfish, isn't it? Right? Because right here, these little tendrils look, I mean, I guess I'll use the word limp here. But then fast forward, when we're about to run it over, they look a little bit sharper. Do they look a little bit sharper? I don't know. But they do explode when we drive into them. Oh, so that was that shot. So, okay, yeah, that is left behind from the spore. Okay, so it's not lava. That's pretty good. And then this is the shot where we blast through this door. I think this is Janus Towers. So we blast through this door, going back to Janus Towers. We get some good shots of both the Zerza as well as the zombies. I love that. Here's a wall by here. This looks like we're at the gas station. And you'll notice that this little honeycomb or beehive, it's actually fallen off of the bear. And I gotta say, I just love the bear, bees, honey, Winnie the Pooh. It's pretty cool, but you can see this is broken off on the ground and you can see kind of this ring around it. And now it looks like maybe there's a weak spot, very similar to the Stoker in Black Ops 4, where you shoot off a scab of it, because you can see, yep, right there, the honeycomb is on. But if we go backwards, boom, that's a red spot and the honeycomb is now on the ground. We get a look at some ammo on the ground there too. We'll see that later. I love this animation, dude. Just like a dog, or, you know, like bears do, kind of shaking off their fur, standing on its hind legs. Looks so epic. And then releasing the bees. You can see that little animation there of it releasing the bees. And here again, we have the beehive, but if we go a few frames further, it disappears. Look at that, revealing a weak spot. Oh, that's so good. And this is beautiful artwork. You can see just how big they want the Zerza to be over the player, as well as some very crazy artwork of the Ravagers. That looks sick. We get the familiar shots of the Zerza, but right here we see that this looks like a Ravager being electrified. I think that's just the Wonder Vehicle shooting it. I'm pretty sure. And here you can see kind of the bees activate. I don't know if it's leaving or if it's just summoning it, but you can see the bees are staying there as he attacks. And this is another good shot. Like I said, this is on the ground. And you can see the bear is attacking the players, and this beehive is just stuck there on the ground. So I'm pretty sure you're just going to need to destroy that beehive as well as kill the bear, which I think is a very, very interesting mechanic. Now we're talking about the Ravagers, and I just love that little animation here. The little jaw moving back and forth looks so good. Get some gameplay behind the scenes. Again, this is just a dev build. They've got tons of stuff here that is not going to be in the actual game. Clearly, this is not the final HUD. Moving forward, we get some more B-roll. Again, white eyes, but this shot right here, we see some ammo on the ground and we see the Ravager eating it, taking it away. So we're going to need to kill it before it takes all of our ammo drops, which I think is really good. Now, it's worth noting that this ammo drop's a trick. If the ammo drops looked like this on the ground, I would love that. It's very subtle, very zombies, but I think it's just for the trailer, unfortunately. See the Ravagers on the truck. Another good shot of what I believe to be, well, I guess those might not be the rib cages of the Z-Rex, I guess. Now, this is the shot where everybody's talking about the HUD, because yes, that definitely does look a little bit more finalized. We have Gobblegums here, the multiplayer HUD. It doesn't look great, I'll be honest. I know people like the futuristic, but between you and me, the Black Ops 6 HUD was very clean, very minimalistic, and you could customize it, and you could customize this one too, so I'm still hopeful, especially with those templates. Could be good, but just wanted to point it out there. Here we get a shot of the brand new perk in action, and again, another wall buy salvage on the ground, but we're talking about the new Wisp T. This is that Wisp, which can seemingly take many different forms that have all these different effects that I covered in the blog post. That car is glowing purple, which seems kind of weird, doesn't it? Maybe that's a weird separate wall buy or something, or like a barrier. I don't know, I just thought of that. I don't think it is, but it very well could be. But as we turn around, we have another ammo crate there. We have a Simtex or sticky grenade on the ground. Again, if the HUD looked like this, that would be awesome. Oh, and I wonder, the blog post said you could get rid of the prompts. I said that might be getting rid of the orange indicators, but it might also be getting rid of the like press X to pick up equipment from the ground. Ooh, that's interesting. That was a cool little thought there. There's a nice close-up of drinking the tea. And here we are on the boat. Does this not look exactly like Terminus, where I like to train a whole bunch? I think it does. But what's cool is we can see we brain rot one of those Ravagers, and because we're showcasing the new Wisp tea, you'll notice that this little fox, this wisp of a fox, is killing all of these zombies. I don't know exactly how it works, but like I said, there's tons of different forms it can take. Ooh, there's essence on the ground, probably from Vulture Aid, but I'm excited to test out all of the different augments. And here's another look at it, because this is actually a different version, because look at that. Now that's a little bit of a mask, right? That's like a devil mask or something like that. Devil mask that, again, killing a whole bunch of zombies. Super cool. There's a fireworks activation. Now, looking at this is the Xville phone booth, but this gave me a better shot at the top of it, which we can see is at least a little bit inspired by the classic teleporters. The 935 teleporters from Doris and Kino der Toten with the little prongs all out on the outside. You can't tell me that we're not attempting to reset the universe here. I'm telling you, once we escape the Dark Ether, the whole entire story is going to change. It's going to be ridiculous. Moving on, we have a Shadow Rift activation, as well as another look at those mushroom type plant things. Moving forward, I believe this is the survival map. That's the Pack-a-Punch, because obviously the Pack-a-Punch is the wonder vehicle. So this is talking about survival maps. We get this new look at the diner, and you could see right on the edge here, that looks like a piece of collectible intel or a part for the Easter egg or something. We have a gobblegum machine there as well, and we have another set dressing zombie on the side that stands up when we walk past it. The grenade that we throw on the zombie explodes, and then the scene changes again with that trap right there. The zombie does drop a drop, but we don't get to see what it is before the scene changes to the other perspective just outside. Again, can't tell what this is. It doesn't look like a big place, like a restaurant or anything. It looks like it's just some sort of stand. I have absolutely no idea what it could be. Let me know what you guys think it is in the comments. And this is the final shot that we haven't covered yet. I imagine this is what everything looks like without the power turned on. Before we turn on that power generator up there, you can see this thing is offline. It looks like that's going to be one of those launchers, or it could be this blacksmith like upgrade station to the wonder vehicle. You could see the wonder vehicle in there. So either everything's offline and that's just showing you, or that's like a launch pad that's offline. It's a cool shot nonetheless. I love local power. That's great. And then we have another kind of mini shot here. Dempsey running down. This looks like it's part of launch, that multiplayer map or Ascension. And that is where the trailer ends. Just as I was wrapping up editing this video, they released more gameplay. Now, there's not too many things to talk about here. There's some awesome, cool new shots, but there is enough to talk about. Specifically, we've got some more in-game shots of the HUD, which does unfortunately appear to be just like the multiplayer HUD, but remember, we are getting HUD customization with different themes, so we'll have to wait and see, but overall, I know people aren't going to be happy with this multiplayer HUD. It does look, though, just to give you a little bit of hope, we'll get a better shot of this later too. It doesn't look like there are any points or like armor here, so this is definitely still a work in progress. But this is a good shot of initiating a jump pad from that spawn area. And it's really cool to see just how dense the fog is. Very difficult to see. We get some new shots of the spawn room. Again, all the stuff we've covered here, except for this new shot, which is another angle of the building. We've got a gobblegum machine as well as an ammo cache. Crazy details, I know. We get a little snippet of the character models, which look really good. I love the really pale and sickly version of these guys. It looks great. Now, in this sequence, we have a couple of interesting things. Very first, we have Takio with some sort of letter or word or whatever on his back. If we could get a translation, that would be fantastic. I don't know what that is. And we have this green spore. That, to me, and as we'll see throughout this gameplay, looks to be one for one exactly like what we had on the tomb, those little plants. So we see Takio running through here. You see the wall by in the background for a singular frame, just to orientate you to where we are in this map area. We get a great shot of this new gun. Running up through here, we see a gobblegum machine, and this is the stamina building. This is the farmhouse. Another one of those green spores, like I said, just like the tomb. Nice little close-up of Dempsey. And then another nice look at the town area, this middle town. We have something to do with a rabbit, hotel in the background, a launch pad. Richtofen's about to get wrecked by a zombie. And we do see an ammo cache in the background there too. And we get some nice fly-throughs of the map. I'm not going to spend too much time except on this, because this is a POI that I forgot to mention. We're going to see more gameplay of this. This is called the Monolith Forest. This is just outside of the spawn room, and you guys are going to really love seeing it, I think. We get a great shot of the Cosmodrome, and I'm sorry to be the first to break this to you, but yes, Treyarch lied. There's a facility in the map. Everybody riot. Oh my goodness. They said no more facilities, yet here we are. Another facility map. Cancel your pre-orders. Anyway, this is a great shot. Gives us a lot of information about where we're at. We get this cabin. We see the pyramid in the background. We're about to see a really cool shot of the pyramid, but I wanted to point out this to you. This looks to me like something covered in those beehives or zombie hives. It might be the power generators. It might be how we turn on power or localized power. I think we see it again, or I missed breaking it down earlier, but just keep that in mind. And this is just a wonderful shot. This floating pyramid. There's a Dr. Panos audio log that mentions seeing a floating pyramid above the lake. And this is exactly what we get. How gorgeous is that? Beautiful. Back in the Cosmodrome, we have another exfil booth and a very similar layout to what we saw before. Moving forward, we get some more concept art for the Ravagers, some different variations, a very bony, spiny one. That's the one that they went with. This one looks like it has hair, very stringy too. And this one looks like it's riddled with spores. So really cool how the art team's giving different directions for what they want to do. I love that. And you can directly see which one they went with. The one with the spiny back looks really good. And this is, I'm going to confirm, ooh, we have 2 power arrows going in different directions, so this looks like a branching pathway. I'm going to confirm here, I'm pretty sure this is the Terminus boat because we have the same 2 openings that we do on Terminus. We get some good action shots and we're back in spawn. This is our first good look at the spawn room. We've got these purple floating, I don't know if that's just set dressing and it's there. We get another green spore, a gobblegum machine there. We'll get a better view of everything there. Yeah, there's gobblegum spore. This is the spawn room just outside of Janus Towers. Flying through, we get a nice close-up of the landing pad. Again, I don't know if we're going to need to activate these before we can use the launch pads like we did in Horizon Raha, but we'll see. We got another ammo cache there like we saw earlier, and the light does pass this radio. I'm not sure if that's an audio log anymore because that looks like really permanently in the map itself. So maybe that's something Easter egg wise. Maybe you can call the truck there because that was a very similar radio to, I'm thinking, Mauert or Toten, where you could call in Klaus. So maybe you could call in Ted and be like, hey, I'm over here, bring the truck over here, and then he'll drive the truck on by. So I don't know, that could be it. That's just my hypothesis. Again, this is why I want to break this down. We see one of these pods that we were talking about before, but it's not glowing, but yet when we run over it, it does explode, but it explodes green and blue instead of the red that we saw earlier. I'm thinking we're going to need to interact with these things for an Easter egg, or there's just more depth to them than we're giving credit here. And this is what I'm excited to show you. Look at this. This is the monolith forest, and it's a forest filled with, you guessed it, a whole bunch of these monoliths, just like the tomb, all of this plant life, like the quantum computing area from Reckoning. It looks really good. I'm excited to see what all is in store for there. And we get like 2 frames of this offline launch pad, system status offline, which makes me think the other offline panel that we saw is not a launch pad and it's something else. We also see another ammo cache, and we're following Maya as she's ziplining down this area, this town, which we have a bank. Now, I haven't played Buried. It's like, well, I've played a little bit of Buried, but it's like my least played zombie map. So let me know if you guys recognize any architecture here or if it's just like a subtle nod or something. We get a new shot of Weaver with the floating pyramid in the background. Oh, it looks so good. And that transitions to a shot of Maya running again with that giant pyramid. And the last thing they show us is a much more finalized version of the HUD. You can see armor plates, self-revive, salvage, or points. But again, we don't see salvage, or I guess no, points is right there, isn't it? So points is under your name and then salvage being right there. It does look weird though, but I want you to look at the health as we're going through this clip. We also see a mystery box location. We are in the Cosmodrome facility. This icon is of the Beam Smasher, but it is the Necrofluid Gauntlet. Health bars and damage numbers return as we're about to see. If you hate this HUD, believe me, if you haven't played Black Ops 6 or if you don't know, you can turn off most of every one of these things that you might not like. The damage numbers, health bars, compass, minimap, we could turn all that off, which is a huge help. But as we shoot this gauntlet, you can see, okay, it's dealing damage. But what you might not notice here is take a look at the health. As we deal damage with the gauntlet, we are going to be getting back more health. Now, that could just be like reviving our health normally, but I could have sworn, I remember in the blog post that this wonder weapon has healing capabilities, vampiric capabilities. I don't know. We shall see. And I'm also just noticing, like I said, anything glowing I'm going to get. There's this blue glowing thing that could just be mist coming from the gauntlet. Who knows? But now that is every bit of zombie gameplay that we currently have completely broken down frame by frame. Did I catch something that you didn't see? Did you catch something that I didn't see? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you want everything you need to know about Black Ops 7 Zombies, I broke down every single thing about it in one giant video full of timestamps. Be sure to subscribe for all of the Black Ops 7 Zombies content. Check out that video here, and as always, stay beautiful.